Okay, this is the last video in this series on kitchen and bath equipment, specifically the appliances, and we're going to focus on the cooking center of the kitchen. And for these cooking appliances, we're going to talk about the different types, sizes, clearances, and connections. There are three basic types of cooking appliances: ovens, cooktops, and ranges. Let's take a look at some definitions down here. An oven is a chamber for cooking and baking without external burners. So it's enclosed. A cooktop, and we'll talk about range tops a little bit later, or a stove is a cooking appliance without an oven. Okay, it's typically just external burners. A range is a combination of an oven and a stove together. When we're talking about ovens, you can have built-in or freestanding ovens. Cooktops, the cooktop is a self-contained unit and it drops into a countertop cutout. The range top, slightly different configuration. It requires a lowered cabinet below it, and it has the controls in the front. We'll take a look at a picture of those. Ranges come in slide-in, freestanding, and drop-in configurations. The first one we're going to look more closely at is ovens. Ovens come in built-in and freestanding. Most of them are built-in. They can be single, double, or combination. So here's a single oven. It's just one appliance. This is a wall oven. Here is a double wall oven. It's two individual appliances. Okay. In this case, they share a control panel, but they're installed separately. A combination wall oven is just slightly different in that this is one piece. They install it in one go, slide one of these items in. Okay, but it actually has two doors and two ovens in it. Freestanding ovens. The most common one is your freestanding countertop microwave oven, but countertop convection ovens also exist, and toaster ovens also fall under this category. Cooktops and range tops. Well, we already told you that a cooktop is self-contained and it drops into a cutout in your countertop. So take a look right here. See, this piece is a cooktop and it will drop into your countertop, and the counter just continues right on past it, okay? And your cabinets below are all at the same height. The range top, and here's an example of a range top, requires a lowered cabinet below it. See how the countertop is cut right here on either side, and the controls are in the front. Ranges. Remember that ranges are a combination oven and stove unit. They come in slide-in, freestanding, and drop-in. A slide-in range sits flush with the counter. See how this is roughly the same height. The sides of the unit are not finished. You're never going to see them, so they don't spend any money on finishing the sides. The oven controls of your slide-in range are on the front. A freestanding range is not attached to the cabinets, and so it has finished sides. I forgot to mention the slide-in is actually attached to the cabinets. It's very easy to tell the difference because of this panel that pops up in the back right here. All right, your freestanding range is going to have this panel. The controls are on the back part. Finally, a drop-in range. This is less common, less popular. It is a range without a bottom drawer, and it's mounted on a base cabinet or a low piece down there rather than seated on the floor. So literally they drop it into this hole in your cabinets. There is a wide range of methods of cooking and different types of heat sources. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail in each of these. All right. But you can have all of the types of ovens that we've talked about can be conduction or convection, radiation. They can be microwave, induction, steam. There's just so many options out there. Heat sources, they can run off of natural gas or electricity. If you've got an electric appliance, that can use a coil. It could have a glass or ceramic cooktop. It can use halogen, or there are even solid discs out there. You might have heard these called electric hobs. Let's talk about some standard sizes, starting with an oven. The width is typically 30 inches. Other sizes are out there, so if you need to vary, then go ahead and take a look, but most of them are going to be 30 inches. A height is typically around 29 inches for a single wall oven, 50-ish inches for a double oven. And the depth, it's going to be your countertop or cabinet depth of 24 inches. Moving on to ranges, they also have a typical width of 30 inches. The height is 36.5 inches to match your countertop or actually be slightly above. The depth of your range is 25 to 27 inches, so they're going to pop slightly out from your 24-inch cabinets. Cooktop sizes are going to vary more than the oven and range sizes. You can have a 2-burner, 4-burner, 6-burner or more cooktop. Okay, so that could be 30 inches wide, 36 inches wide, etc. All right, widths vary. The depths are going to fit within your 24-inch countertops, so they're going to be in the 19 to 22-inch range. And finally, the height of your item, and that's going to be not the height above the countertop, but just the depth of the whole thing, all right, is in the 2.5 to 4-inch range. Okay, so you can see that that cooktop is going to extend into the cabinet below. And you really have to watch out for that when you're planning what you're going to put in that cabinet below. Let's talk about clearances. They're a little bit more tricky for cooking appliances than they were for our refrigerators and our dishwashers. Okay, so the side wall, and here's an example of a cooking appliance right here. The side wall is going to be this piece right here. Okay. Electric ranges require a 0 sidewall spacing. So this sidewall could be right up against this range. That's allowed, but it's not recommended. Up to 6 inches is probably the minimum that I would recommend. Gas ranges actually require a spacing up here and could be somewhere from 1 to 6 inches. If you're below the cooktop, so down here, you don't actually need to space between the sidewall and your cooking appliances. The important thing here is always, always, always double check the manufacturer's installation instructions, manufacturer's requirements on your spec sheets, and meet those requirements for your individual item that you've picked. All right, so in this series of videos, we explored kitchen appliances, what they are. We talked about how to conserve energy in your kitchen and bath. And finally, we dug into all of the different appliances in the refrigeration, the sink center, and the cooking center of a kitchen. Thanks, everyone.